first things that we do as parents to young kids is to teach them to cheer on their friends and colleagues when they're doing well in a competition or in a game. Otherwise, we tell our kids, it shows poor sportsmanship. And yet in this week's parashat Behalotcha, we find someone who does not cheer. He does not applaud. And that is Aharon HaKohen himself. Because when Aharon witnesses the inauguration of the Mishkan, done by the tribe leaders offering their contributions, he stands by silently. Rashi explains that Aaron felt bad that he was not one of the participants. So therefore he didn't cheer and he didn't applaud them. And the question is why? Why did Aharon not applaud them? And what's even more puzzling is God's response to Aharon's behavior. God then goes on to inform Aharon that he has no need to be upset. He tells him, you will kindle the menorah every day. And it's even greater than their one-time sacrifice. It leaves us wondering, why did God acquiesce to Aaron's feelings? If he was being a sore sport, shouldn't we call him out on it? So perhaps a short story can help us understand. There was once a Jewish boy who came to the Behalotcha Rebbe to receive a blessing before his bar mitzvah. The boy told the Rebbe that he came to New York for two things. He wanted to meet the Rebbe and get a blessing for his bar mitzvah, but at the same time he came to see his favorite sports team. He was a big fan and he asked the Rebbe to also bless the team. The Rebbe smiled and said to the boy, you must not ask for both blessings in the same breath. You must differentiate between sports, which is materialistic pursuits, and a bar mitzvah, which is a spiritual pursuit. And why? The Rebbe said, you see, in sports, it's okay to be a fan and a spectator. But in spirituality, you can't be a spectator. You need to be a player. Why? Because a spectator, he can leave in the middle of the game. He may even suddenly decide to be a fan of the opposite team. But in spiritual matters, the Rebbe said you need to be like a player, someone who assumes responsibility, completely invested in the game until the final second. The Rebbe told the boy, you are now becoming a mature, responsible Jewish kid. And on the day of the bar mitzvah, you are becoming a player on a team called Am Yisrael. And you can influence the outcome of the game by taking an important part in it. Not everyone can be a Messi, but everyone has to be a player. Now we can understand Aharon's agenda in this week's parasha and God's response. Because rather than a sour attitude that it appears to be on the surface, Aaron was really bothered by something else. Of course, he was happy for the leaders of the tribes and he harbored no ill feelings or jealousy towards them. Yet what bothered him at the same time was that their activity reminded him of his own personal standing. And he wondered if he was up to par. In other words, applauding someone else is what spectators do. And that's okay when it comes to materialistic matters. But Aaron was a man who was only concerned about spiritual matters. And he would not suffice as being a spectator. And he saw their involvement as a call to action for himself. And that's why Hashem responded that Aaron's dedication and call to action is right where it needs to be. And he will therefore light the menorah every day. So in summation, Aharon reminds us that in spiritual matters, we can't just be spectators. We must also be active participants. Wishing you Shabbat Shalom.